I truly believe the movie Obsession, starring Inde Navarrette, was actually about her. Like, because, well, obviously she's the obsessed one, but then think about after the movie was released, everyone was obsessed with her. Now the culture's on her. She's the next it girl. She's the next breakout star. She reminds me of almost like a Jenna Ortega type figure where, like, remember, like, Jenna Ortega's, like, big breakout year in, like, 2022? It's, like, Jenna, it girl. It's, like, this is, like, her year. Where it's, like, the next product on the industry line. And I love how they always, like, I don't know, they just fucking always tell us, like, the movie's called Obsession. It's about her becoming so fixated on this guy, but then when the movie's released, the reality is the inverse. It's the culture, the watchers, the audience, the fan base becomes obsessed with Inde. It's literally like the One Wish fucking Willow on her. Because, like, you have to, like, think about the amount of obsession that's on her, the edits that are being made. She's all over the media. She is all over, interviews. She's getting cast in huge movies like X-Men. Like, they knew this rollout was coming. This isn't just like, oh, you know, she was getting randomly cast, like, auditioning for these. No, like, this entire thing has been set up since Obsession. Like, they've been planning to make her the next big thing for a while now. She's been in the works. She was in 13 Reasons Why. When you're on Netflix, it's already laid out. Like, they choose you in advance, and they're like, okay, you're gonna be the next thing. And now she's in X-Men. Now she's like a big hook of watching the X-Men movie, and it's like there is this complete obsession around her where it's I want to say dehumanizing, but, like, she doesn't necessarily stand out when it comes to the obsession culture around celebrities. It's very typical to, like, any breakout star where it's like, I just think it's interesting because her character in the movie Obsession obviously went fucking crazy. Against her will, her soul was in the sunken place, and she was forced to go fucking crazy. And then that character is like, it's almost like her character has definitely been heavily fetishized, because it was never seen through, like, even though it's a horror movie, the reason that her character has been so fetishized is because it was always kind of supposed to be that way. Like, the movie wasn't shot from her eyes. It wasn't shot from, like, the horror that she was experiencing. It was shot all through the lens of a man and the male gaze, you could say. And so, there was always this element of, you know, and he was, like, had a huge crush on her at first, so there's all this element of, like, oh my god, she's, like, obsessed with me, but, like, she's, like, so hot and, like, sexy, and, like, oh my god, she's, like, covered in blood, and she's showing up to my house, and she's going, like, no, like, and then that's become, like, a whole thing. Sorry, where am I going with this? Anyways, it really does make the movie feel a lot more like predictive programming or some sort of spell where it's like there was some sort of One Wish Willow where, like, now broken, where now the entire culture is obsessed with her. And we know it's an obsession because we don't actually know her. We don't know this person. No one's met her. We see her through the digital render. In the post-digital world, we only view people through the screens. So we don't know her personally. We don't know what she's like. We just see her content online, and she has a lot of, like, she's a huge online presence. She's a YouTube channel, a TikTok, and Instagram. She's going on shows. She's a very big personality, so it seems. So it makes it much more easy to build that obsession around her, because you feel like you know her personally. You feel like she's, like, your friend. And so you are like filling in the gaps. You're creating this full picture even though you're really just getting pieces and you think you know the person. That's an obsession. That's, it's a fantasy. It's not reality, and that's the exact same fucking shit that happened in the movie. It just makes me think what was going on behind the curtains. It's one of those things that just makes me think about the underlying Hollywood machinery. Did Inde, she wanted that obsession factor. She broke that one wish Willow. She wanted people to be obsessed with her. And so you sign that contract. And you kind of do what it takes. And Hollywood is all about attention. Hollywood itself, the word Hollywood is like a magic wand. Like, it's not, it's not just production and marketing. There's a lot. It's very psychological, and it's all like a whole bunch of fucking rituals. And I think I'm just like being too vague now, but when you want to be famous, you will really do anything for it. There's some people who will do anything to be famous. And, it's like you can have that one wish Willow, break the wish, get everyone obsessed with you, get all this attention, get all of this fame, all of this media, all of the things you were probably denied as a child, which is why you want it now. But there's always a cost. It's never just, because obsession isn't, actually about a relationship. It's not about a partnership. It's not about knowing someone. It's about becoming attached to a fantasy, a ghost, an idea of someone that doesn't actually exist. It's not a real formed person. It's just the same thing as watching it on a screen. It's a projection. And so there's always a consequence when it comes to getting so much attention and so much obsession on you from people that don't know you. It's, a temporary boost. Just like in the movie, it feels really good at first. It's like, oh my god, my ideations, my fantasies, this is exactly what I wanted. The One Wish Willow worked. One Wish Willow, I don't know, that reminds me so much of Hollywood. Just like Willow, Hollywood, both a kind of tree. Super interesting, actually. I'm just drawing that connection. Hollywood and Willow. One Wish Willow. Hollywood. Like, they're definitely telling us something there. But there's obviously a trade-off when you're put in the spotlight and all of a sudden you have all this attention in this entire obsession culture around you. You are stripped of your humanity, which is exactly what happened to her character in the movie. She literally had no access to her humanity. She had no access to her free will because the guy Bear had projected his narrative on her, even though he didn't know her and wasn't respecting her agency. And then he also was dehumanized, obviously, because she started pursuing him, and that's not actually what love is. So that's what happens when the dynamic isn't inherently equal. It's not normal to know so much about someone that we don't actually know, and for them to know nothing about us. They don't know us, but we know everything about them. And I just think that's the craziest part about being famous. And that obsession feels really good at first until you realize you lose your agency too. Because if you don't live up to people's images, if you don't live up to their ideas and projections, they will turn on you because they don't know you. So it's like a very flat, static thing. And if you betray that, then that obsession can very quickly turn into animosity. It can turn into hatred. It can turn into betrayal. And it's like, what happened to the obsession? Because they weren't obsessed with you. They're obsessed with what you represent. Even obsession, it's possession. Obsession, possession, obsession, possession. It's a sort of possession, which also relates to the movie. Obsession, possession, obsession, possession. It's not a natural state of connection, of relating to someone. It's a possession. It's when, a fantasy takes over your body and you're not relating to someone that exists. You're relating to a ghost that has possessed you, a spirit that has possessed you into an obsession. Capiche? I don't know, like, does that make sense? It's just not a coincidence when, like, that's her breakout movie, and then this is what we're seeing now. Obsession the movie, obsession transfers into the obsession on Inde Navarrette. And she was the one obsessed in the movie, now everyone's obsessed with her. And it seems like really the actress wanted to break that one wish, Willow. Now, I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but... Or maybe the industry broke that one wish, Willow, for her. They said, we are going to manufacture this obsession around you. She maybe didn't even want that obsession, but when you're starring in movies when you're starring in like Netflix and things like that, and you're wanting to be an actor, being successful does come with the fame, I guess. It's really interesting. It seems like you can't be a successful actor without being famous, which is so fucking interesting, I'm realizing, because that is very unique. That can't be true for other careers. You can be a successful doctor without being a famous doctor that everyone knows. You can be a successful physicist without having fans. You can be a successful, you know what I mean? An engineer without having people know your dog's name. Super interesting. Super, super interesting. And I guess that's the same thing for being a singer, but I don't know, but I guess, yeah, for an actor, if you want to make a living, it really does seem like you need to either make it, you can't just always star in tiny things all the time, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you really do have to be absorbed into the industry, and so maybe a part of you has to want that obsession. It's chasing it, the ability to be seen, to be recognized, even if it's not complete. Who knows, bro?